Embrace. Mountains stand like old gods in this frozen place. Ice and fire entwine, whispers on the wind. Nature's cruel and kind, where does it all begin? Life and death come near, in the shadows dance. Fragile moments here, nothing left to chance.
Ferry journey from Denmark to Iceland cost me around about €1,000 return with the motorcycle.
We're just passing by.
I booked over 6 months ahead due to the nearly peak season when I went there. The ferry for Iceland I'm catching leaves from northern Denmark. It's also quite windy here today. Ferry journey from Denmark to Iceland cost me around €1,000 return with the motorcycle. Booked in over 6 months ahead due to it being nearly peak season here now. The ferry from Denmark to Iceland takes about 3 days. The flight distance from Denmark to Iceland is 2,200 kilometres, or about 1,300 miles. The ferry takes about 3 days from Denmark to Iceland. 90 to 95% of the Faroe Islands economy is based on fishing. Faroe Islands the name Faroe Islands stands for Sheep Islands, of which there are about 70,000 sheep in the Faroe Islands. There was about 9 of us in the shed. Cameron and 2 of them snored very loudly. One of the people snored all night long. The capital is called Tórshavn. Faroe Islands has a population of around 54,000 people. There's about 18 islands in the Faroe Islands group. The capital of the Faroe Islands receives the fewest recorded sunshine hours of any city in the world at 840 hours per year. We stopped off to unload and load the people and materials for a short while at the Faroe Islands. Some motorcyclists got off for a visit to the Faroe Islands before continuing on to Iceland on a later ferry. Most likely stayed here in Faroe Islands for a few days before the next ferry. around Iceland. There's around about 5,000 kilometres of it. The climate is considered subantarctic.
We've arrived in Iceland, 2 nights on the ferry. We stayed in the six bed bunk, which was the cheapest price. Yeah, one person at the store all night, 2 nights in a row. They went to sleep pretty early too. Looks like the day's actually clearing up. There's a bit of light rain as we came in on the ferry. First impressions is, yeah, it just feels like Iceland's just a great big national park. But yeah.
Highest recorded temperature here has been 30.5 Celsius and was recorded in June 1939. The lowest temperature recorded here was -38 Celsius. The land of Iceland is geographically young at around about 16 to 18 million years old. 80% of Iceland's energy comes from renewable sources. Iceland has the world's largest geothermal power plant. There are about 13,000 kilometres of administrated roads here. 4,600 kilometres of that are paved and 8,300 are gravel. There are more sheep in Iceland than people. They were brought over by the Vikings between the 9th and the 10th century. It's roughly about the same amount of sheep to people in Iceland.
Wow, I've got the smell of rotten eggs here. Sulphur.
Iceland receives over 2 million foreign visitors each year. In 2024, they received 2.3 million visitors from overseas. The Arctic fox is the only land mammal in Iceland before the arrival of people. It arrived in Iceland, the Arctic fox, by walking over the frozen sea. The 4th of July, here in Iceland, we found ourselves a forest to camp in last night, which might be pretty rare. Hopefully the weather's going to be better than yesterday. Yeah, it's still pretty overcast, but a bit more settled. Yeah, it gets pretty light here in Iceland this time of the year. 3 o'clock it's light.
birds singing. So yeah, woke up pretty early. We've got 300 kilometres to do, so.
The most common native tree is a northern birch. Route 1 is the ring road around Iceland. It is about 1,332 kilometres long or around. It has 30 single one-lane bridges in it. It's paved all the way around.
Well, it'll get a bit warmer now. Looking like it might be a nice day.
In 2022, Iceland was the 8th most productive country per person in the world. Around 8,000 Polish people live here. A lot of them are working in an aluminium smelter. The literacy rate here is 99%.
Looks like we've got blue sky coming out. Might be a nice weekend. A bit of a lava field here.
Most of the forest around here was destroyed by turning it to firewood and overgrazing. Only 23% of the country is considered vegetated. The cost of living here on average is 45% higher than in the UK. Beef can be between 20 euros and 48 euros per kilogram. Fast food combo meal here is between 16 euros and 20 euros.
Some trees taking root.
Iceland has a total area of just over 100,000 square kilometres. Petrol prices around here are about €2.13 per litre. Beer was illegal in Iceland until 1989.
Well, we've left the motorcycle rally. Now we're going to start doing the touristy thing. And yeah, luckily we've got today a nice blue sky. Bit of a chilly wind though. We'll always be trying to be parked somewhere out of the wind. Yeah, the ferry came in here, landed on Thursday, and then we rode the 457 kilometres to the motorcycle rally. It's around about here. And the motorcycle rally is now finished. We went into Reykjavik and picked up some maps and just having a relaxing day. And now we're going to head back this way. You know, we're going to be heading to around here tomorrow. Check out all these windy roads. Apparently there's good scenery around here too. Yep, well that's our scenery over that way there. Yep. A lot of volcanic scenery. 30 million years Iceland's supposed to be in here. Yeah. Morning. Well, we had a bit of a light frost this morning for the 9th of July. Okay, we're just going to pack this lot up quickly and get on the road.
Icelandic folklore tells stories of elves, trolls and other mystical creatures. The Danish kingdom forced Lutheranism, Christian religion, on Icelanders in 1550. and it was Catholic before then. They have some of the longest lifespans, averaging 83 years.
Yeah, we're just checking out some features around here. We're not sure what the weather's going to do. Looks like they put in a new causeway here. Otherwise the current road that is going to go all the way over there, all the way along here. That looks like we're heading in that direction. Well, somebody had a bit of a find up here. We're just going to walk up and have a look at what they found inside the sea, I imagine. They'd have to.
At one stage during early settlement periods of warmer weather, Iceland was covered by 25% forest compared to now 1% forest.
Well, we just stopped here to have a bit of lunch. But yes, we're around about this area at the moment, heading towards here. Not going to try and pronounce Icelandic names. You can have a go. But yes, and then tomorrow we'll be heading this way. It's Reykjavik there, the capital. Just give you a little bit of an idea what part of Iceland I'm actually in.
There are more than 10,000 waterfalls in Iceland. There are no mosquitoes in Iceland. Icelandic language is one of the most challenging languages to learn.
Well, we're about number 3 years at the moment. We're going into this town here. Interesting looking tunnel this. Quite a long tunnel that there. Nice name here for the ford. That tunnel there is also quite long.
According to an ancient manuscript, Iceland was settled in the beginning of 874 AD by a Norwegian chieftain.
Reckon we're about there at the moment. How'd you like to try and pronounce some of these place names?
And until 1983, there was no TV on Thursdays nor during the month of July. Beer is between €7 and €10 for half a litre at the bar.
Morning. Well, we're just going to have a slow day today. Did about 550 kilometres or so yesterday, which wasn't so easy here in Iceland on a windy, cold wind and a bit of light rain, some strong winds at times. Quite amazed at how many cyclists we've seen. About 20 or so cyclists we've seen out there on the road, making slow progress. Yeah, another overcast day, but the tent on the outside is dry. It's actually reasonably dry on the inside too.
A lot of cruise ships visit Iceland.
Well, we're just heading back around the top and heading east on the top of Iceland.
Freshwater rivers here have Atlantic salmon, brown trout and Arctic char. the naming of people is a different system. The last names are derived from the father's first name, meaning surnames don't exist.
Well, got a different day today, not so windy. We're in a much more sheltered area, I reckon, because there's forests, or planted forest. Got plenty of flies around, and then blue sky. Yeah, we left our camp inside around here yesterday, fueled up, then continued on Highway 1 over this. Pretty windy plateaus here, reasonably high up, some pretty strong winds. Then we got to here yesterday late afternoon, fueled up again, then camped around here. We're going to make our way today around the south coast here. Not sure how far we will get, but we're going to take our time and definitely do that because we've got several more days to get to about here and then back again. One of the first things that happened this morning is I come out of my campsite, visor was open, hadn't gone 50 metres and something flew in through my open visor and stung me right under the eye. Yeah, some geese there. Can't keep a straight line in the wind.
The longest word in Iceland has 59 letters in it. Until 1986, Iceland only had one TV channel.
Well, we're on Route 95. Probably got the best day I've seen so far. Blue skies, hardly any wind. Yeah, route number 1, the ring road of Iceland's just down there. That's what we're heading towards, and then we're going to head east. But yeah, I imagine a day like today we're going to be doing lots of stopping and lots of taking in the views. Probably got the best day I've seen so far. Blue skies, hardly any wind. Yeah, route number 1, the ring road of Iceland's just down there.
Iceland is the least populated country in Europe with just over 380,000 people. Icelandic waters are full of cod, haddock, redfish, herring, freshwater. Rivers also have Atlantic salmon, brown trout and Arctic char. It's very windy at times in Iceland. At one place where I was really holding on, it was like little tornadoes in the highlands. And I was really holding on. Iceland has 11 glaciers which cover 11% of the country.
Yeah, we're trying to not get that.
The Icelandic horse is bred for conditions here quite a bit smaller, at times pony-sized. It's quite long-lived. There are no other horse breeds allowed into the country. One such horse was recorded living until the age of 56. Another was recorded giving birth at the age of 27. Icelanders consume the most Coca-Cola in the world.
Well, these here are the remains of a bridge. Bridge that got washed away in 1996 when the volcano over there erupted and melted the some of the glacial ice. Apparently some blocks of ice were estimated between 1,000 and 2,000 tonnes that came down.
Iceland gained independence from Denmark in June the 17th, 1944.
Apparently the volcanic crater is 5 kilometres in diameter. It's also the highest mountain in Iceland at 2,110 metres above sea level. If you aren't wondering why I'm not pronouncing the name of the volcano or mountain, this is its name here if you want to have a go at pronouncing that.
Iceland has no standing army or navy or air force and only a coast guard. Over 60% of the population lives in the capital Reykjavik.
So yes, we've filled up in Hella here. We're probably about here at the moment. It's all sealed road pretty much. It was on a bit of gravel through here. And then when we get to the F208, we're going to continue along here. Then it's back to the glaciers along here. Yes, we're going to be taking the 208 pretty much. Don't you just love it? Some of these names here. You want to pronounce those?
no mosquitoes in Iceland. There are around 30 active volcanoes here. Some of the traditional foods include fermented shark and boiled sheep's head. Well, here goes.
Wow, a couple of river crossings back there. Quite easy actually. The black sand is quite nice to ride through. We've had very lucky with the weather. I think I just got a bit of a window there and had a really nice afternoon. A bit like the Ben Nevis, a whole lot of little small river crossings, but no rocks in the river or the streams, which made it a hell of a lot easier. Pretty hard to find a camping spot around here. They don't seem to allow it. Not even a nook or cranny. You're not allowed to take your vehicle off the road at all. And they could definitely see if you did.
The Icelandic language was changed little from ancient Norse. The inhabitants can read 1,000-year-old sagas still. It is landscaped sharply by roughly 200 volcanoes and extensive glaciers. We stopped to look at here is the old lava field. It's pretty old. Eventually, in a long time,
coming, they'll be covered in grass, like other areas in Iceland here. Well, we've got Highway 1 there. We've just completed the 208 road, which joined onto the 26. 200 kilometres from Hella to here. We're not going to head towards Vic, we're going to head east towards the glaciers. We've got a beautiful sunny day, hardly any wind. Looks like at some stage some of that cliff sides come down and just all this rock and rubble as a result. Yeah. Wouldn't have liked to have stood here when that lot came down. Iceland has the oldest parliament established nearly 1100 years ago. Iceland is nicknamed the land of fire and ice. Right, push. At it. Well, we're coming towards the end of this Iceland section of my trip. We're around about here at the moment. We have to go to here today, and then we catch the other ferry from this point here. But yeah, yes, today we've been going around this area here.
The fishing industry makes up about 70% of Iceland's exported goods. The waters surrounding Iceland are full of cod, haddock, redfish and herring.
Okay, you're going to be sailing out of Iceland tomorrow. Well, we're just waiting for the ferry now. Going to check in shortly, line up with all the other motorcycles. Yeah. It wasn't so much fun going over that mountain pass yesterday. Everything was misted over. Speed wobbles because they're going so slow. Close together. Oh.